Asuka, the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's Revenge.
I'm Aska. I'm 22. I was fresh out of college. I lived with my parents, my brother Fubuki, and his wife Mari. My brother got married about 6 months ago. He was 25. His wife was the same age as me. She was a housewife. We're the same age and all, but I don't really get along with her. But I worked during the day, so I didn't have to see her that often. Both of my parents worked too, so during the day, Mari was alone at the house. Mom and I helped her from time to time. But she did most of the things around the house for us. For that, I was grateful. One day, Where's my jelly? I had this jelly in the fridge, but it was gone. I asked if anyone knew anything about it.
I ate it.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I should have written my name on it. After that, I started writing my name on stuff I didn't want others to take. But the next evening... What? Did she eat it again? Hey, I wrote my name on it. Please be more careful from now on.
Oh.
It was the second time in a row, so I raised my voice at her. But my mom just said,
Oh, Aska, relax. It's only yogurt.
She told me to relax, but I was really frustrated. The next day, when I was telling my colleague about this,
Why don't you get your own fridge then?
Ooh, good idea. So on my way home, I bought a mini fridge and a piece of my favorite cake.
Seriously? You worry too much.
I'm tired of her stealing my food. This is the only way. I put the fridge in my room and the cake inside before going to bed. That night, I headed downstairs to go to the bathroom. The light in the kitchen was still on. Maybe Mom is still up. But it wasn't Mom. It was Mari. She was eating something with her hands. Wait, is that? It was the box of cake I threw out earlier. She was scooping up the whipped cream on the side of the box. Creepy. It was like a clip out of a horror movie. And I hated horror movies. I ran back to my room and went to sleep. The next morning, Mari was acting normal. Maybe it was just a dream. I decided to let it go. I put one of the jelly into my mini fridge and headed out to work. It was probably a bad dream. I probably felt bad for eating cake all by myself. I know, I'll get some for everyone today. So I got everyone some cake and headed home. Everyone loved it. But then, when I came out of the showers, it's gone. The jelly in my mini fridge was gone. Not this again. I should talk to her. I decided to go talk to her. But then, when I opened the door, she was standing right in front of my door. I nearly pissed my pants.
Aska, I'm sorry. I ate your jelly.
I'm scared. What should I do? Okay. It's fine. I was terrified. I said it was fine and closed the door. What was that about? After that, I stopped buying sweets to take home. I also stopped using the mini fridge. A few months later, I went on vacation to Germany with a friend. I got some delicious sweets as souvenirs. I got Mari this big box of sweets. I better keep my stuff in my fridge. Mari might try to steal it again. So I got some chains and some padlocks and wrapped it around my mini fridge before heading out to work the next day. I'm home!
Aska, you should go take a look.
When I got home, Mom came up to me looking worried. She was pointing toward my room. So I went to my room and opened the door. It was Mari again. She was crying in front of my fridge.
Sweets, sweets.
Mari? What are you doing? But I don't think she could hear me. She just kept crying. I texted my brother immediately.
What do you mean?
She's acting all weird. But he was still at work. There wasn't much he could do.
I'll call her mother.
Her mother lived about 30 minutes away, so my mom called her and told her to come over. Mari kept crying in front of my fridge while we waited.
I'm so sorry about this.
Then, when her mom got here, Mari started shaking.
I'm sorry. Stop this right now! Why are you doing this?
Her mother scolded her.
There. Let's all take a deep breath.
My mom told them to take a step back and breathe. Then Mari started telling us why she was doing this.
My brother, he had allergies. He couldn't eat sweets. Stuff like cake and cookies. So as a kid, I couldn't eat any of that. I've never had a birthday cake either.
And her mother, she didn't like sweets to begin with. She didn't even like fruits, so she grew up without eating any sweets.
Sweets are disgusting. They make me sick. I don't know why people like that stuff.
That's what she always said to her. So Mari thought,
Eating sweets is a bad thing.
she stayed away from that stuff as a kid. Then she married my brother and moved in with us.
Sweets are the best.
Yeah! We all love sweets, so she had some trouble adjusting.
I can't believe it.
She couldn't believe it at first. Our family loves sweets. We had cake Fridays twice a month. When it was someone's birthday, my dad baked us this huge cake. So on Mari's birthday, we baked her his special cake, and
This is incredible.
she loved it. But now, she couldn't get enough of it.
More, I want more.
So she started going through our fridge, looking for more sweets.
I want more cake. But where do you buy them? I never bought one, so I have no idea. I want to ask Aska, but we don't really talk, so... Ugh.
So that's why.
This is what you get for eating sweets. It makes you dumb. I told you. I'm sorry.
Mari's mom yelled at her. Was she serious? I had to say something to her. Okay, I think we've heard enough. Could you please leave now? I think you're making her uncomfortable.
I'm sorry about her. It's not her fault. She should have listened to me.
Please leave, now. Mari, here, this is for you. I gave her some of the sweets I got from my vacation.
Sorry. I knew stealing was wrong, but I couldn't control myself. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. From now on, just tell me, okay? Mom and I felt kinda bad for her after that. This was all her mother's fault. That night, we had a family meeting. We all agreed that she needed help.
You should have told me.
I'm sorry.
She was crying the entire time. All right, enough of that. Listen, this weekend I'll take you to the sweets buffet. It's an all-you-can-eat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Asuka.
Sunday, I took her to this all-you-can-eat restaurant. She started crying from joy. Then, that night, Mari said to us,
I need help. I'm gonna go see a doctor.
Is it that serious?
Do you really have to go see a doctor?
I think so. I mean, I stole from you guys. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't control myself. Something's wrong with me. I want to get help.
All right. We'll be right here if you need anything.
Then the doorbell rang. It was Mari's mother.
I'm taking my daughter back. I need to re-educate her.
Oh, it's okay. I think we got it under control.
Yeah, she's in good hands.
No, I'm taking her back. I could use another pair of hands around the house anyway, so...
She started raising her voice.
Ma'am, please lower your voice.
My brother said to her.
Get away from me! Don't touch me, pervert!
She was out of control. There must be something wrong with her. Mari wasn't safe with her. We had to keep her away from her. Mom went back to check on her. Then my brother called Mari's brother and told him what was going on. A few minutes later, he arrived and took his mom home. Finally.
I had no idea she was like that.
That was intense.
Mari was still crying in the living room.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. I hope she doesn't come back.
Yeah. I have the day off tomorrow, so I'll be with her.
If someone comes to the door, just don't answer it. Just to be safe.
Okay.
The next day, Mari's mother came by the house, just as I thought. She left a note in the mailbox. I need to re-educate my daughter. Please give her back to me. You can divorce her if you want. Ugh, she really wanted her daughter back. This lady is insane. Then she started calling our house almost every day.
Let's talk to her husband and her son.
So we called them and told them to come over to the house.
I'm so sorry about my wife. She's been like this ever since Mari left the house. She's always been a control freak, ever since Mari was a little girl. And when Mari left the house, she started losing her mind. But I had no idea about any of this. I'm so sorry.
If she's going to keep doing this, we're gonna have to move.
No need for that. This won't happen again, I promise.
Mari's father and brother apologized to us over and over again. I kind of feel bad. It's not even their fault, though. A few days later, Mari's father called my brother and said,
We're moving out of town. We're gonna go live with my parents.
Oh, I see. What about your job, though?
A relative of mine owns a factory nearby, so I'm gonna work there from now on. This is the only way to protect my daughter and her family. I should have done this a long time ago. Again, I'm really sorry about everything.
2 weeks later, Mari's parents moved out of town. A few months later, Mari's brother, who stayed behind, came to our house and updated us on his parents. He told us we had nothing to worry about anymore.
Glad that's over with.
Yeah. From now on, if you want to eat sweets, just tell me, okay? Eating too much can be bad for you, so...
Okay, thank you, Aska.
At first, we didn't really get along, but now we're like best friends. We went out together almost every weekend.
Delicious!
So good! Mari was feeling much better now. Anyways, it was a rough couple of months, but glad everything worked out.
My name is Kotomi. Right around a year of being married to my husband, Yuji, I was able to get pregnant. Then, Yuji said,
We're going to be moving to my parents' place next month. I'm going to be transferring over to the branch that's closer to their house.
he gave me no choice. Really? I had no time to even think about it. We moved in with my in-laws. I moved back to his parents' house alone before he came back. And so I ended up being there alone for 3 months. I wasn't bullied or anything, but I was nervous because it was the first time I'd been pregnant. My in-laws lived in the countryside and my parents were 2 hours away from here. My dad and mom, my brother and his wife were too far to casually go visit. I was just lonely. And then, finally, Yuji started living with us. We can finally live together again. I was so sad with us being apart.
Yeah.
However, I barely had any time to be happy.
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Again? He often went out every night with his local best friend.
Yuji had always gotten along really well with his best friend.
True.
My in-laws had informed me about my husband and his best friend. Apparently, he gets along really well with her, and they never tried to tell him to stop hanging out with her. Every night, I would do some chores and take a bath before I quietly read books to get ready for the child. I hope your daddy stays at home more often after you're born. I'm going to be with you forever. I was so glad to have the child with me, though. My husband would sometimes come home super late as well. Come on! You're going out literally every night. I understand if you're going out every weekend, but you're going out during the week too.
I can't hang out with my best friend if I have kids. I don't need this right now. Have a good buzz going. Don't kill it.
I knew that getting too angry wasn't good for the child, so I think I was often trying to avoid arguments entirely with my husband. Time went on before I knew it. I was 8 months pregnant. Oh, Yuji forgot his wallet. When I went to his company to deliver something he had forgotten, I found him sitting with a woman at a nearby park. He's eating a different bento than the one I made for him. What's going on? I didn't say anything to him or give him his belongings. I just went back home. Where is my bento? Something is so very off. When I got back to the house, I ran to my room and looked through the bag that he always took when he went out. There was a bunch of receipts, several of which were from the love hotels. You're cheating, huh? I figured. There's no way that made any sense. I was worried about my child, so I didn't want to get too depressed. But I couldn't talk about this to anyone. I mean, maybe Asuka-san will cheer me up. I called my brother's wife, Aska.
Kotomi-chan, what's up? How's the baby?
Asuka-san, I'm not sure, but I told Asuka-san everything about what I had found out today. The going out every night, the receipts, and how I was worried about the baby.
I can't believe it. You're 8 months in your term, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Ryota and his parents if they'd be okay with you coming home to have the baby.
Yeah? Thank you so much, Asuka-san. I was able to calm down after talking to Asuka-san. That night, my husband came home and immediately took off after taking a shower. Afterwards, I checked his bag and his notebook. It's definitely an affair. I found a woman's personal info and some photos, along with proof that they were being intimate with each other. The woman I saw him with at work today is his best friend, his first love, and his ex-girlfriend. Yeah, they didn't say man or woman. His parents kept saying they got along well since they were young, which means they knew that his best friend was a girl too. That night, he came home drunk as usual and snored on the couch while I checked his phone. I saw a bunch of photos that were inexcusable and transferred them onto my phone. I always thought that this was an invasion of privacy, so I left it alone, but his whole family has been playing me for a fool this whole time. The woman he was seeing is Rika. According to a long-winded message from her, they broke up once because she couldn't have kids, but being the eldest son, he had to have a child. Then, what Yuji came up with was that he would marry someone, have the child, then divorce and take the child as his own. I also learned that his parents were in on this whole plan as well. I was trembling out of anger after finding all of this out. I can't handle this. I found out everything. He's totally guilty. Help! It was the middle of the night, but I texted Asuka-san immediately. I sent her all of the screenshots from the messages and the proof of his affair.
Ugh, I cannot let this go. I'm going to go pick you up, and I'm going to take everyone with me. I'm sure you probably can't sleep, but at least lie down and close your eyes. You'll at least get some rest.
Okay.
What time does he come home usually?
Around 7 p.m., but he's out by 9 p.m.
Okay, we're going to pick you up. You make sure you pack everything important you need, okay?
I believed her and cried while lying down alone. I, of course, got no sleep. The next day, I didn't get anything from Asuka-san, but the doorbell rang around 7 p.m. My mother-in-law answered.
Kotomi-san, your parents and brother, along with his wife, are here.
She seemed a little surprised when she called me. When I went to the entrance, Dad, Mom, my brother, and Aska were all there. I honestly was about to cry out of relief.
It's been so long. What happened?
Oh, nothing. I just spoke to my sister-in-law yesterday, and she said she's been feeling a little sick recently, so I figured we'd come pick her up so she can have the baby at our house. That's fine, right?
No, she's supposed to have it here.
Yeah, you could have talked to us. Oh, it might have been a little tough for her to tell you guys since you're her husband's parents. Sorry for the sudden arrival without any notice.
My sister seems pretty tough, but she's actually pretty sensitive. Hey, you want to do that, Kotomi? You want to have it here, right?
He looked at me angrily. I was unsure of how to answer, but
No, we're taking her. If she comes with us, she won't be so lonely at night.
They couldn't say anything about it and sent me off. I took my belongings and headed out to the car without looking back. For 5 minutes or so after the car left the house, no one said anything. Asuka-san broke the silence.
You never have to go back.
Yeah.
I heard what was happening from Asuka-san. I hired a PI already to work the case.
I have a good lawyer too, so don't worry about it.
I started crying, and everyone was a little worried and unsure of what to do. I was at home for the first time in a while. It was so warm.
There's a lot of your favorite food here.
Thanks.
Go ahead and hang out in the kotatsu. You didn't sleep last night, right?
I was able to give birth to the child. A healthy boy. I pretend that my husband doesn't exist and continue to live at my parents' house. We did all of the traditional things without them, and right around the 5-month mark after his birth.
Hey, when are you coming home? Hurry up!
Yeah! How long are you going to be relaxing at your parents' house?
You're being spoiled! Ugh, this is why I don't like women nowadays.
Okay, we'll go home once. I went back with my parents, Aska and my brother. They had invited a bunch of relatives to show off the child, and there was a large feast prepared for us. At first, everything was nice because they talked about the child, but eventually, they started taking jabs at me.
They say that women nowadays have no sense of responsibility.
Actually, there's a good reason that we came here with our whole family today.
We presented the results of the investigation from the PI.
Oh, this is...
Thankfully, for the 5 months or so that I stayed with my parents, this best friend had moved to his parents' house, and there was more than enough proof.
Do you mind explaining this before you start taking jabs at my daughter? This is the woman that he was fooling around with every night after they've been married, right?
Oh, honey, you don't have to be so mean. They can't explain after this. I mean, really, what excuse do you have?
They fell silent, and the relatives were all looking through the documents, shocked.
You are going to chase out your wife after you make her have the baby? How terrible are you?
Yuji, what's going on? Explain yourself!
You're sitting here talking about how my daughter won't go home to your nasty house? Who would want to come home to this? I don't believe it. You made your pregnant wife live with your parents while you fool around with your mistress every night? You're irredeemable. I didn't realize they were this insane. I'm so sorry, Kotomi-san. You must have been so lonely.
There was nothing left for my family to even say. His relatives were furious about this, and I didn't want my baby crying, so I moved to a different room to feed him. I could hear them yelling from the other room. One man, the brother of my father-in-law, said,
Bring the mistress now!
I could hear that clearly. Outside of that, I couldn't hear the details. The result was that my husband and the woman would both pay me everything in damages and child support.
I'm so sorry you had to deal with this when you just came by to see your grandchild. Please don't apologize. I am so sorry for everything that's been done to your daughter. Although I had no clue, I'm truly regretful of what happened.
They had already sorted out the details about money and parental rights. They were signing documents and everything.
We will contact you at a later date about the paperwork and whatnot. If my younger brother tries to pull anything, let me know right away.
Clearly, we had made a strong ally. We left the house after everything was said and done.
I thought that I was going to help out, but we didn't even need to help out. His relatives were all on our side.
I mean, can you really blame them? I could never forgive my relatives for that.
The fact that it's my own relative would make it worse.
I've never seen you get that mad, though.
Me neither. Me too.
Me three.
That's how I successfully got divorced and started living with my parents. About half a year after the divorce, the angry brother of my now ex-husband's father contacted us.
No one in this family is dealing with that family anymore. They're the shame of the family. We're in the country. Everyone knows everyone. Apparently, the mistress is being scolded by everyone, and they're gonna leave the area.
Thank you so much for helping us till the end. We're going to raise the child well. According to his story, Yuji and his best friend broke it off with each other immediately, and the woman couldn't go back to her home. Yuji is now always alone at work and in private.
If that family does anything to you, let me know right away. I'm sure there wouldn't be a wife that would want to live with that terrible family. It's not just you either. I'm not gonna let them get away with it against everyone.
I'm Aska. When I got married to my husband Ryota, his parents said to us,
You'll be living here from now on.
he owned this old house, and he told us to live there. He was planning to give this place to Ryota's sister, Kotomi, but
This place is too old. I don't want it. Give it to Ryota.
she said to him.
Someone has to live there.
So they came to us.
Well, it is close to the station.
Yeah, and the rent is free, so
Yeah, let's stay here until we have enough money saved up for our own place.
So we decided to move in. His parents weren't that interested in us to begin with, so they rarely came over, which was kinda nice.
You can do anything you want with the house.
My mother-in-law said to us.
All right, let's renovate this place then. I've always wanted to try something like this.
We decided to renovate the place on our own. We got all the materials ourselves and did everything on our own. It was kind of fun. I painted the wood white. Cute, right?
Looking good.
Let's paint everything white. I bet it'll look really good.
All right.
About 2 months later, the house was as good as new. Look at this place.
We did it.
We loved our new home. But then, about 4 months later,
Wow, this place is all nice now. I want to live here. Thanks, guys.
my sister-in-law came over and said that she wanted to live here.
Huh? You had your chance. This is our place now.
Yeah.
But Dad was planning to give this place to us. Hand it over.
Yeah, he came to us first. Get out!
What? You guys turned it down. We did this for us, not you two. Get the hell out.
Yeah, what's wrong with them? But my father-in-law sided with Kotomi.
I was planning to give the house to them anyways, so you'll have to leave.
That's not fair. We were pissed.
This is bullshit. You know how much money we spent on that place?
We were furious. We didn't know what to do. I hated seeing my husband like this.
I know. Let's undo all the work.
Huh?
We're gonna turn the house back the way it was.
Oh, okay. We took everything down and took all the materials with us to our new home.
Let's go, Asuka.
All right, let's get out of here. We moved out of town. We didn't tell them where we were going. Then, a few days later, Kotomi started texting Ryota.
What the hell happened? This place is a dump again.
Screw you.
What happened to that nice wallpaper?
We took it with us. Buy your own.
There are holes in the door screen. What the hell?
Fix it yourself.
Ryota told her to screw off. But then, she started calling me.
What the hell did you guys do? Turn it back to the way it was.
It is. That's how it was when we got the house. You really thought we'd leave all that nice stuff there for you? What's wrong with you? At least the house is clean. You know how long it took us to clean that place? You should be thanking us.
Screw you. This is our house.
Ugh, shut up! Stop calling me! Then I hung up the phone and blocked her number. A few months later, Ryota's parents called him. Kotomi was still living in that old house with her husband.
Forget them, right?
Yeah. Why did we do this? Well, it was partially because they took the house away from us, but that wasn't all. Ever since Ryota was a kid,
You're her big brother. Give it to her.
You're her big brother. Let her have it.
his parents were always playing favorites. We were getting pretty sick and tired of it, so we decided to cut all ties with them. A few days later, his dad called.
How dare you! You're out of the family! You're not getting a dime out of my inheritance!
His dad yelled at him.
I don't care about your inheritance. Get out of my life.
You're gonna regret this! You sure you want to play it like this?
Absolutely. Don't ever call me again.
Then he hung up the phone. My husband put himself through college, and we paid for the wedding out of our own pockets. But when Kotomi got married, his parents paid for half of it. And not only that.
You pay the other half. You're her big brother.
Yes, what's wrong with you?
They were unbelievable. But they've always been like this to him. Did they think he was made out of money or something?
Nice necklace. Can I have it?
And this one time, his sister asked me if she could have my necklace. No. Why would I give it to you? I said no, but then...
Huh? Why not?
She thought everything was hers. It was really annoying.
She's used to taking stuff from me, so that's why she's like that. Screw them. They don't have that much inheritance anyway. You don't have to deal with them anymore. I'm through with them.
So we cut all ties with them and moved out. 3 years later, we finally got our own house.
We finally did it!
Yay! Great job!
I love you so much.
Love you too. And hey, guess what? I'm pregnant!
What? Awesome! That's great news! Come here.
Then, a few days later, Ryota got a call from his cousin.
Did you hear? Katomi and her husband are out of control. They're spending money like crazy. You know that old house you used to live in? They had to sell that place off. They all live together now.
Kotomi couldn't leech off Ryota anymore, so she went after her parents' money. And now, they were all broke.
They'll probably have to sell their house soon.
Sucks for them, but... oh well, not our problem.
Yeah, screw them. I got my own family now. Come here, babe.
Says we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's revenge.
My name is Kotomi. I recently married my husband, Tadashi. We worked in the same office and dated for 2 years before getting married, but recently, I found out something shocking. He's totally got a mummy complex. Every time I saw my mother-in-law,
You're a failure of a woman. A failure of a wife, and you present yourself like some kind of whore.
she would just keep bullying me. I didn't know why. I thought I was doing everything pretty perfectly. My husband, Tadashi, grew up in a single-mother household, so he's always taken care of his mom. Even before we got married, I thought it was a good thing, and I married him knowing about this.
Can I invite my mom?
Yeah, sure. You're seriously so kind to her. Mother and son. I'm sure they lived their life supporting each other, so it made sense. Tadashi was a little indecisive, but kind, and he was kind to me, so I didn't really care. However, when we were out eating with the three of us last week,
Takun was my only Takun.
she just suddenly started sighing and whining. Honestly, I was a little taken aback by the nickname, but I ignored it. Then my husband...
I mean, I'm married now, Mom. I'm sorry for leaving you all alone because of Katomi-chan.
What?
Hey, Katomi-chan, you need to formally apologize to her. I'm sorry for taking your son from you.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. He's not being serious, right? So I figured, since he was just making fun of the situation, I said, You should be a little sad that your beloved son has grown up well. I'm sorry for making you sad, but apparently he didn't like how I apologized to her. He was now angry.
That doesn't feel genuine at all. You ripped us apart. You do nothing for me even though you tore us apart.
What? I can cook and clean and do the laundry for you.
I heard that you just leave him alone.
What? Leave him alone? We both work and I do all the chores, so I really don't know what the hell they're talking about.
You're the one supposed to do the chores. You're also skipping out on your morning and nightly obligations.
Yeah, I told you how to do it on the first day, but you haven't done it once.
Huh? The first day that we started living together, he asked for...
I want you to wake me up gently. When it's cold, bring me something to wear.
Okay.
I want you to put some water in a cup and put my toothbrush out with toothpaste. When I wash my face, I want you to bring me my towel so I can wipe my face quickly.
Can you do some of that yourself? I'm busy in the morning, so I don't have the time. When he got home from work...
When I said I'm going to get in the bath, I want you to bring me a bath towel and wait in front of the bath for me.
What's the point?
What do you mean? You're not gonna dry me off? My mom did it even when she had work.
It sounded so ridiculous, so I thought he was just fooling around. But he didn't say anything after that, so I just assumed he was joking. Apparently, he was complaining to his mom the whole time.
I cannot believe that you leave him out to dry like that.
We worked in the same office, albeit different departments, and made about the same amount of money. We both work together and I'm doing all of the chores, but it's not enough. I argued back, to which she said,
If you can't take care of Takun, give him back to me. Why can't you make him happy?
I heard this and started realizing a little too late the twisted relationship they had. I looked over at Tadashi, hoping he would come to a realization, but...
If you can't take care of me, there's no point in us being married.
He said, then let's get a divorce? And that's how we agreed to get a divorce. Afterwards, normally we'd talk about difference in opinion and values and ask for damages, but for some reason, the mother-in-law...
You couldn't take care of Takun correctly, so you owe him money.
She was claiming I had to pay. Okay, then write it all out for me. If you write out the specifics in detail, I will pay. If not, I will not pay anything. If you want to argue, then I'll talk to a bunch of people if they think I should be paying in this situation, I told her.
You have no common sense or remorse.
But my ex-husband...
Don't tell anyone.
He paid me damages. I took the money and promised not to tell anyone, but that means he knew what he was saying is a little insane. I mean, there's a good chance I could talk to coworkers. Even after divorcing at the office.
You may not be a great wife, but you're a great girlfriend.
He would invite me out on dates.
You just weren't suited to be a wife, you know? We should just be friends with benefits.
He was insane. To make things worse...
Some people are good at things while others are not. I think things will work out well if you and my mom split your duties. I think this was a great learning experience.
I was done with listening to this. What? I don't want a man who needs 2 women to take care of him.
Why? You don't want to take care of me?
What the hell makes you think you're worth that much? I dropped the mic on him. Afterwards, he started texting me.
You failure of a woman! You bitch!
Lovely. I was so in the right to divorce him. However, a few weeks after the divorce, people started rumoring why we got a divorce to begin with. I mean, We were only married for 2 months. My guess is that he didn't want people to figure out the real reason behind the divorce, so he started saying things in his department.
She wouldn't do any chores, and my mom got in a fight with her.
One of my good coworkers told me about it.
He's saying you didn't do any chores and so you got a divorce, but I know you can cook.
She was quick to inform me of this little plan. He's seriously saying that?
Yeah, he said that you were lousy and his mom would always chew you out, but you wouldn't listen. All the other male employees believe him and think you're a trashy woman.
I was furious. I got home and was stewing, so I was thinking about telling the truth at my office, but I don't want to be like that. It's a private thing. The next day, I went to the office and everything was completely different. My ex-husband worked with his ex-girlfriend, whom he had dated before we got married. That person.
Kotomi-san is smart and can really work hard, so I thought she might be able to get him in line, but I guess not. I should have told her about him before she got married.
She started denying any of the claims for me, so a lot of the employees heard the truth, apparently.
Tadashi-san said some crap about his toothbrush and toothpaste when I went over to his house once. He said that he wanted me to wipe his body after he got out of the bath.
Wait, what the hell? Do it yourself.
I laughed about it, and you know what he said? Mommy always does it for me. I dumped him on the spot.
What the hell? He's got a mommy complex.
I thought it was great that she got married, but I don't blame her for getting a divorce.
Thank you so much, Tanaka-san. I'm gonna take you out to lunch sometime. I didn't say anything to people who actually respected me. On the other hand, my ex-husband who was walking around slandering me looked horrible. Silence is golden. My ex-husband couldn't stand being in that office anymore, so within 3 months, he had quit. Tanaka-san, wanna go grab drinks tonight? I'll buy.
Huh? Why?
Oh, you know, I didn't want to say anything, but you told everyone the truth, so it kind of really helped me out. Afterwards, we started getting closer, and we still go out for drinks on the weekend.
Want to go to a matchmaking party sometime?
Totally. Think it's okay that I've been married once?
I think a girl like you would be just fine.
I'm Kotomi. I got married 8 months ago. The other day, I got some extra income, so my husband Satoru and I decided to go on a nice vacation. Can't wait! We booked the semi-suite room. The room was gorgeous. We weren't gonna need it, but it even had a guest room. This room is so expensive, we'll probably never be able to stay at a place like this again.
True. Gotta make the best of it.
My husband made all the reservations for me. I was always busy with work, so that was kind of nice. I was pretty excited about our trip together, but I also had something else on my mind. I had to talk to my husband about something. Hopefully, we'll be able to reach an understanding. You see, the thing is, my husband was a big spender. We both worked, but I made twice as much as him. He's gotta be more careful with his spendings. Every month, he spent more than he made. I was worried about him. He was buying stuff for himself and his parents. He said he wanted to make them proud. We'll just talk about this like adults. I'm sure he'll understand. Then a few days later, we were getting ready to head out, but then the doorbell rang.
Sorry, we're late.
Let's get going, shall we?
It was my parents-in-laws. What are they doing here? Huh? I was so confused. Then my husband said,
We got a guest room, so might as well put it to use, right?
He said it with a smile. You never told me this. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say, but I couldn't just turn them away and tell them to go home, so I got in my car and they all got in. Why is his father sitting next to me? My husband and his mom sat in the back seat. He was really enjoying this. I couldn't believe it. It was so frustrating. Huh? Then my father-in-law lit a cigarette and started smoking. My husband knew I hated cigarettes, but he didn't even stop him. Sorry, but there's no smoking in here.
Oh, relax. We're on vacation. Just open a window.
Yeah, you worry too much, Kodami.
I came this close to losing my mind, I didn't even know what to think anymore. Then, about 4 hours later, we arrived at our hotel. Screw this. I'm divorcing him. I was exhausted.
Come on, hurry up!
You tired already? What's wrong with you?
Seriously? That's it. I glared at my husband. He definitely knew that I was pissed, but he didn't care. He knew I wouldn't yell at him in front of his parents. Once we got home, I'm putting an end to all of this. This was a nightmare. My vacation was ruined. Then when we got to the room, my father-in-law fell asleep in the master bedroom. My mother-in-law was too busy chit-chatting with my husband. I couldn't take much more of this. I went into the guest room and laid down in bed. Why? It was getting dark out. My husband was nowhere to be found. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. I was just so frustrated. Then I started crying. I should have never came here. I should have just left him when I had the chance. I loved my husband, and I wanted to make things work. That's why I decided to use my extra income for this nice vacation, but what kind of person invites his parents without telling their partner? That night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed up all night long. Ugh, my skin is a mess. I got changed and walked into the living room. My mother-in-law was sleeping on the couch, and my husband, he was on the floor next to her. Such a mummy's boy. Gross. I stared at their ugly faces for a while. A few minutes later, they woke up. Then,
Hey, Mom wants to go to that flower park. You know, the one we were talking about. Can you drive us there?
This is so much fun. I feel so young again.
You're not old, Mom. You look really young. Right, Kotomi?
I didn't know what to say to him anymore. Yeah. I put on a fake smile and walked away. I didn't even care anymore. That's it. We're done.
I'm gonna go wash my face.
Then my mother-in-law got up and headed to the bathroom. Hey, you piece of shit. I don't need you anymore, I said to my husband with a big smile on my face.
Huh?
He froze up. He didn't know what to say. I meant what I said, though. I was done with him. I wanted him out of my life. He tried to say something, but his mom came back. I'm gonna go ask the clerk for directions. Then I grabbed my stuff and left the room. Screw this. Then I got in my car and headed home. About an hour later, I had a bunch of missed calls from my husband, but I ignored him. I stopped by a nearby convenience store to get some coffee. Then my phone rang again, so I finally picked up and said, "Hello? Who is it?" My husband sounded confused.
What the hell's going on? Stop messing around! Where are you?
Idiot. He still doesn't get it. What do you mean?
Huh? Where are you right now? We can't go anywhere without the car.
Not my problem. Well, gotta go. Enjoy your vacation. Just don't bother me anymore. If you want to talk to me, go through my lawyer from now on. Then I hung up the phone before he could say anything. I should have done this a long time ago. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I should have talked to him before going on vacation. Whatever. What's done is done, so I headed to my brother's house and told him I was getting divorced. I'm leaving him. I know it's only been 8 months, but I can't do this anymore. I need a lawyer. You work at a law office, so can you help me out?
Huh?
My brother, Ryota, seemed really surprised. I told him and his wife what happened. Aska, his wife, was furious.
Seriously? He invited his parents without even telling you?
Yeah, unbelievable, right? And it wasn't even his money. I paid for everything. I can't do this anymore. We booked the hotel for 2 nights, but that night my husband came home. Looks like he took the train. Then my mom called my brother.
Kotomi, Mom wants to talk to you.
Kodami?
Satoru just came to our house. He said he can't reach you. What's going on? You two get in a fight or something?
Yeah, I'm leaving him. Then, Satoru's parents joined him.
Since we're all here, let's just talk about this. Come on in.
My father decided to let him in, so I headed back to my parents' house for a talk.
Kotomi, you just left us there. How dare you?
Yeah, you're so selfish. Yeah, apologize to them.
They started yelling at me the moment I walked into the room.
Huh? Is that true? You went on vacation with them and just left without telling anyone?
Oh. Yep. The thing is, I've been thinking about divorcing him for a while now. But I wanted to make it work somehow, so I thought this vacation would help, but he invited his parents without even telling me.
Wait, what? Divorce? You never told me that!
I took out my household account book and slammed it on the table. Bank transitions, credit card bills, pay slips, it was all there. I had serious concerns about the way you spent money. That's why I planned this vacation. I wanted us to talk and make it work somehow. I didn't want to give up. I wanted to make things work, but I couldn't finish my sentence. I started crying.
Wow, this is a lot of money, Satoru.
Yeah. You're spending more than you make here. How did you manage your money before you got married? Oh well.
All the money you withdrew from our mutual account. I know you were handing them to your parents.
What? No, that's not true.
What's this then? I took out some of the documents I found in Satoru's bag the other day. He was helping his parents with their car and house payment. He finally gave up and apologized.
I'm sorry.
I thought we could talk about this and make it work somehow, but instead you invited your parents without even telling me. It's over. Our parents had nothing to say after that. The meeting was over.
Kotomi, please, give me another chance.
Too late. Go through my lawyer. Then my brother introduced me to one of the best divorce lawyers in the city. Satoru spent most of our savings on stupid stuff, so there wasn't much left to fight over, but that idiot. I sued him for damages and asked him to pay me back every dime. Needless to say, the court ruled in my favor. But Satoru was flat out broke. He begged me to let him pay me in installments.
Kotomi, I'm sorry. I love you. Please, let's just start over.
Satoru kept begging me to take him back, but there was no chance in hell that I was gonna let him leech off of me again. I heard he had to sell his car to pay his bills. What an idiot.
Yeah, screw him. You deserve better.
Satoru's parents were broke too, so they couldn't help him either. He started working a second job to pay his bills after the divorce. He said he was barely getting any sleep, but oh well, not my problem. After that, I blocked him and decided to move on with my life.
My name is Yayoi. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter Aska still lives with me, but my son Fubuki has gotten married and I'm now a mother-in-law. I'm a little worried about him though. He's never been a good judge of women. My son Fubuki was always a pretty good kid, and he had already bought a house and finished paying off his loans when he was single. He started living there 3 months ago after he got married, but I don't know if I'm just immature, but I can't hold it back. His wife's name was Ayumi-san, and she always ate all the food without any consideration for others. She was just not one to really care about anyone around her. Fubuki worked at a pretty decent company, but because of his position at a fairly elite company, he was often working late.
Hello?
Ayumi-san would often come over while Fubuki wasn't home and eat dinner before saying things like,
Your food is so good! I love it! It's great!
so it was nice. And at first, I didn't mind cooking for her. It's a little lonely at my house, so I don't mind that she comes over. Or so I thought, but then...
Wait, you ate all the meat?
That's my favorite food!
Oh wow, she really only ate the meat. Even when cooking a large dish, she would often eat all of the meat first.
Ah, it's so good!
She never shared it all. We would often only have veggies left, and so my husband Aska, my daughter, and I would just end up eating the vegetables with no meat. Eventually, I tried to portion off people's meals to make sure she couldn't eat all of it.
It was so good, but it's just not enough.
Huh? She would often complain, so she would take the leftovers from my husband, Aska, and I. It really didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. Do you want mine too?
Are you sure?
She didn't even bother hesitating, but that wasn't enough for her. She would start taking things around the house as well.
Oh, you bought a lot of toilet paper, didn't you? Can I have one?
What?
It's only a few rolls, thanks. Oh, and I'm about to run out of detergent too, so thank you. I'll bring my own containers to refill.
Recently, Asuka's been complaining about Ayumi-san after she leaves, taking notes.
Let's see. 2 toilet paper rolls, detergent, and she also ate like half of your meal.
Asuka, she also took my medicine! Write that down too!
She would make a list of things that Ayumi-san took, and you could tell that both my husband and Asuka were starting to feel stressed out by her actions.
It's tough to say anything because she's Fubuki's wife.
Fubuki should be making good money too!
They're newlyweds, so maybe they just don't have a lot of funds at the moment.
She eats dinner at our house almost every night, and you send her home with enough food for Fubuki, so they have to have some extra money.
The other day, while my husband and Asuka were off at work, Ayumi-san came over to my house, so I decided to ask her about it. This might lead to some problems, so I should just clear the air. Ayumi-san, I appreciate you coming over and spending so much time with us, but I think you're coming over a little too frequently, and you should go buy your own expendables.
I just don't have time to go buy my own stuff.
But you're a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah.
She replied with some stress in her voice. I didn't want her to think I was bullying her or something and cause problems between her and Fubuki, so I wasn't able to say much more. Whatever the case, can you cut back the amount of times that you come over to eat? I figured there was no way that she would come over that night, but...
Hello?
You're kidding! Did she not hear anything I said? She came over like nothing ever happened, once again to eat dinner.
I love this food. This is my favorite.
She started eating all the meat once again without any consideration for others.
Can you stop taking all the meat?
Asuka finally lost her patience.
What's going on?
I got this meat from a friend as a thank you.
But it tastes better if you eat with everyone.
Yeah, as in share. But you always eat all the meat alone. Ugh, I'm done with this. I'm going to tell Fubuki.
Once Fubuki got home past 9 p.m., we were all holding a family meeting.
What's going on? It's so late.
He looked completely dumbfounded before walking up to us.
Well, you're probably not home often because you work late. But your wife comes home almost 4 times a week to eat dinner. And we're not sure if that's such a good thing.
Huh? Ayumi? She's coming over that often?
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know at all. Is this true, Ayumi?
Yeah.
Apparently, she didn't even tell her own husband that she was coming over to eat. However, I started realizing something was up.
Wait, how do you not know? Ayumi-san should be taking home food for you on the days that she comes over to eat.
What? I've never had any food from Mom.
Apparently, even that food wasn't off limits to her. It was so good that she just couldn't hold back. She looked like she was just a little guilty, but it seemed to not understand the gravity of the situation. I was honestly a little terrified. Even the meal I sent you home with yesterday?
Your food is just too good.
I made extra just for Fubuki.
Hey, that's going too far, Ayumi.
But I really only take a little bit.
My daughter and husband, both surprised by what she had just said, at the same time exclaimed,
Huh? You literally eat all of the meat that was cooked for everyone. A little bit?
They said, completely in the right. I felt a little bad for my son not being aware of anything, but...
Can you guys explain a little more in detail?
What do you even do for dinner?
Yeah, I'm a little curious about that too. Apparently Ayoi had quite a bit of stress and he has never eaten any cooking from Ayumi-san.
Every time I come home from working late, there's no food or anything. So I've just been eating instant meals or buying things on my way home.
I was starting to get upset that all the food that I've been giving her to give to my son wasn't reaching him and also worried about his health. Why don't you make him anything?
You're literally a stay-at-home wife. Why don't you cook him anything? That's a little much.
It's annoying having to make a meal for just one person.
So then how about you make it for 2 and eat at home?
I would love to eat your homemade cooking too.
You eat that much at our house, and then you eat his food too? I'm just gonna put it all out there since we're on the subject, but you're always taking expendables around the house too, like detergent and toilet paper.
Why? I didn't know anything about this.
My son looked pretty upset, questioning Ayumi-san.
Oh, come on. It's not worth reporting back to you about. It's not like I'm taking a lot.
You realize that it all adds up, right?
Just so we're clear, it's not just a little either. Look at this.
Asuka showed the list that she had been writing up every time she took something.
What the? She's taking so much.
Fubuki looked furious and lost.
I've been giving you all of my salary after we got married, and I've only taken like $500 per month for myself. You definitely have the money.
The second he started talking about money, Ayumi-san just fell silent, and my son said something I still cannot believe.
I can't believe you were doing exactly what your mom was doing.
Huh?
According to Fubuki, Ayumi-san's mother would often come over to their house.
I'm gonna take a little soy sauce, okay?
And she would fill almost 200 milliliters of an empty container with soy sauce before going home.
Oh, give me a little bit of horseradish if you don't mind.
She would then take the whole thing.
Oh, and I'll take 2 eggs.
She literally just took everything around the house.
I mean, they're not expensive or anything, but she just takes everything. You're doing that crap too? I was honestly getting tired of your mom's behavior.
What's wrong with taking a little bit from people who already have some? What's wrong with all of you? You're just bullying the married and wife?
No, of course not.
I gotta ask you, are you actually saving the money that I've been making?
Of course. I've been spending a lot on utilities and whatnot, so there's not much left, but...
That's sketchy. I've been giving you $4,000 a month. You wouldn't even need half of that for utilities and cost of living. We don't even have a mortgage. I'm gonna go home and check my account real quick. Dad, Mom, Aska, sorry about all the trouble. It's Saturday tomorrow, so I'll come by during the day to talk again.
They went back home and we were completely exhausted by this interaction. I always sent her home with food.
She didn't even make him any food.
I'm confused what she even does during the day.
The next Saturday, Fubuki and Ayumi-san showed back up.
I'm gonna have her parents come over in an hour or so.
Huh? I haven't made any preparations though.
Just to be blunt, we have no savings at all.
Huh?
All the money in the accounts that I made before we got married were fine, but all the money that we had as a joint account only had $40 total.
So she used up your savings?
But it's just you two. I'm sure it's probably only like $200 a month for utilities, right? Even if you consider cost of living and food.
Ayumi-san didn't say anything and before her parents showed up.
What's the problem? They're kids. You should be able to provide them with food if they're asking. That's totally normal.
I see, that's why she's the way she is.
There are limits to things. It's one thing if she comes over a few times a month, but she literally comes over almost every day. That's just a bother and nothing else.
Look at this. This is the list that my sister wrote down.
He showed Ayumi's father a list of all the stuff and the lack of funds in their joint savings account.
You! What the hell have you done?
Ayumi's father was shocked at all this, but her mother...
Ugh, are you just nagging at her because she's your brother's wife? Oh, how disgusting. I feel so bad for her.
Shut up! What would you do if he did the same thing to you? Shameful!
Ayumi's father said what none of us had the balls to say. I'm glad that her father is a relatively normal person. Ayumi-san never spoke up, but her father was questioning her about the whereabouts of the money.
I went out to watch movies with Mom and go out to restaurants.
Apparently, Ayumi-san and Ayumi-san's mother thought that Fubuki was an ATM. So you've been hanging out, dilly-dallying, while you didn't cook at all for my son. I'm actually stunned.
I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, but it's not just cooking. She's never cleaned or done the laundry either. I've just been doing it all on the weekend. I figure we're still newlywed and she's not good at chores, but I'm done with this. I think it's easier for me to live alone.
What? Why? It's our money, so I should be able to use it as I like.
Yeah, you're being too mean.
You two need to shut the hell up. Stop embarrassing me even more. I'm sorry. I'll pay you back everything. I won't even be mad if you decide to divorce her.
Thank you.
Hey, what are you saying? Don't be butting into your own child's household matters.
The second Ayumi-san's mother said that, Ayumi's father turned to her with a look that would make the devil himself tremble in fear.
Shut up! You're doing the same thing! It's the same thing that you did when we got married! You have no idea how many times I've considered divorcing you! I just couldn't because I had kids!
Huh?
Apparently, Ayumi-san's mother had been doing the same thing to her father's parents.
They also suggested I get a divorce, and I really didn't think about it. But I didn't expect my own daughter to do the same thing.
Thanks to Ayumi-san's father, everything went smoothly. It was such a short marriage, but because Ayumi-san had used up so much of their savings, there was almost no shared wealth.
I'll reimburse you for everything that my daughter used in the last 3 months. I'll pay for damages as well.
2 weeks later, they were successfully divorced.
Apparently, Ayumi's father and mother got a divorce too, and Ayumi is living with her mother now. They both got arrested though, and her father got a phone call.
Huh? Why were they arrested?
They were taking toilet paper from malls and soap from the stockrooms and public bathrooms. They got caught and arrested. They were apparently regular thieves.
I can only imagine what kind of struggles that the father was put through.
And back at our house.
It's been so long since I've been able to just sit down and eat dinner.
Yeah, we haven't been able to eat a single slice of meat at all.
You guys, eat up.
Ah, that meat looks really good!
Peace and quiet returned to our household.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!